Hello, my name is Ken Currie from the Waikato Rugby Union. Today on the show we're going to be talking about a new secondary school competition, and to help me do that we've got High Performance Manager of the Chiefs, Tindall. Welcome to the show, Chris.
Thank you, Kent.
So we're going to be talking about this new competition, the Chiefs Cup. Now tell us all about it, mate. What's the structure, who's in it, and when does it start?
Yeah, no, it's a really exciting initiative, Kent, to have this Chiefs secondary schools competition starting. It starts next week on the 28th of April. And the structure is, it draws from the top-ranked secondary schools from right around the region. We've got 4 schools from Waikato, 4 schools from counties Manukau and Bay of Plenty, and 2 schools from Thames Valley and King Country. And the competition is in 2 tiers, with Chiefs Cup and the Chiefs Trophy. And it's a knockout format, which is something new.
Geez, that's going to add a little bit of edge to it, isn't it, being knockout? What's the reasoning behind that?
Yeah, no, it is. It's we think the format's going to be good to give the boys something new to experience and to learn from, knockout rugby, to hopefully develop some All Black World Cup players for the future and that, but also it's necessary to fit in with the provincial union competitions and the top 4 playoffs later in the year. So really appreciative of all the support from the schools and the provincial unions to help make this happen.
Because I think most of the schools in the Chiefs region have been craving for this type of competition, you know, for the last 5 or 6 years, to be honest. What has been the criteria for these teams to actually make their way into the competition?
Yeah, the teams that are involved are based on where they finished last year in their provincial competitions. So literally the top 4 teams from the Bay, the counties and Waikato, and the top 2 teams from Thames Valley and King Country. So that creates its own competition. So looking forward for next year, those provincial competitions will be competitive about trying to get into the Chiefs Cup and Chiefs Trophy for next year.
So how many teams in the Chiefs Cup?
8.
8. So out of that you've got Hamilton boys, Tauranga boys, Rotorua boys, Wesley College, St Paul's from Cambridge are in there, as well as St John's and Cambridge High School. So there's some pretty high level of teams in there, isn't there? So it should be a great competition, that Chiefs Cup. Yeah,
no, it will be, Kent. It's they're all the top ranked teams from last year, and it's also great to have the next tier of teams also being able to play against each other from outside their provincial boundaries. And for a number of those teams in the Chiefs Trophy, it's the first chance they've had to have a competitive match outside of their province. So those teams, Otamaito College, Western Heights from the Bay, 2 teams from King Country are Taupo Atanui and Tahara College, and from counties we've got Rosehill College and Pukekohe High.
So just going back to the format, it's like one of the reasons why the Chiefs Cup hasn't, or a secondary schools Chiefs competition, hasn't worked in the past is because of the length of the season. But I guess it being a knockout competition, 1, it's a short format, but 2, there's still plenty up for grabs in every game, and 3, most of the teams can use it sort of as a pre-season before they go into their main competitions for the year.
Yeah, right on all those fronts, Kent. That's what shaped the format and to make it work, really. And it had the potential to be a great idea, but it was too hard. But we've made it work, and as I say, really with the support of the schools and the provincial unions. And at the end of the day, it's great that all the top-ranked schools have brought into it, and it makes it a really genuine cup and trophy competition.
And just going to the Chiefs under-18s, there's a development camp in July, isn't there? So this will be a great viewing window for all the selectors and spotters and for everyone who's involved with that watching program to see players at the same level. So you're actually comparing apples with apples, which hasn't always been the case in the past.
Yeah, no, that's right, Kent. It really will flow through that selection process and provide a great selection platform to get those matchups and probably allow some boys from maybe some of the lower schools to really put their hands up in a competitive match.
So it's also another opportunity to ingrain, the Chiefs region brand as such into some of these secondary school kids and also the parents and teachers alike also, which has got to be great for you guys.
Yeah, this initiative around the schools is important in itself, but it's also really a part of the Chiefs' effort to connect with our region, right across, obviously, the schoolboy rugby here, but also our community engagement. The Chiefs team in the past and again this year has put a lot of time and effort to get around the region. For instance, the public training at Tikawiti before the team played in Taupo. We had over 1,000 people in Tikawiti to see the team, which was great to see, and the locals, including the great Pine Tree Meads, Sue Pine Tree, was there and passed really positive comments. So yeah, a lot of effort's been put in to connect with the region, and this is an exciting part of that.
And what have you done to promote this particular competition?
We've just put out a media release, which hopefully get a bit of uptake about. But we're going to be pretty active in promoting the results and from next Saturday, because the second round is the following Saturday, so that'll have some flow. And it's worth noting too that the final of the Chiefs Cup will be curtain raiser to the Chiefs versus Bulls match on Friday, 25 May. So that'll provide a showcase for this competition as a final. For the Chiefs Trophy, the final venue and timing to be confirmed, depending on who's in it. And probably just to note, the other two teams in the Chiefs Trophy, not to forget our Thames Valley people, Hauraki Plains College and Thames High School.
Are many of the players going to get out there and watch? Because I'm picking at a few of the current Chiefs players, in the squad, and that have actually gone through some of these schools and played first 15 rugby for some of these schools. Yeah,
first 15 rugby is clearly a key development ground for provincial union players, Super Rugby players and All Blacks. A number of the boys have come through these schools. So for instance, Tim Williams from Manurewa College, Manurewa High School, sorry. So the Chiefs play the Hurricanes next Saturday night. So hopefully some of the players, or at least some of the players who aren't involved that night, will get out and see the games. They've got a double header at Cambridge, which is worth noting, Kent. We've got Cambridge High versus Manurewa High School that day, but also as sort of a middle ground, we've got Taupo College playing Rose Hill, meeting in the middle. So
great opening.
Provides a double header at Cambridge.
No, that's excellent, mate. I'm sure there's some great banter going on within the Chiefs squad to see what first 15 is going to win the inaugural Chiefs Cup as well, which is going to be obviously pretty good. But hey, mate, we have to wrap it up there. But thanks very much for coming in and having a chat to us about this new concept. Congratulations for finally getting it off the ground. And I know that there's a lot of schools out there in the Chiefs region that are very excited by all of this. And let's hope it goes well and it continues in future years. So thanks very much for coming on the show, Chris.
No, thanks, Kent. Great to be here.
That's the end of the natter here in Matamata. Keija will be with you after the break.